All mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed virgins. And who might you be? You don't look like one of them.
Oh, do I now? You would be too if you had to deal with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have if you can't smell bullshit from a mile away. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. And here's a brilliant idea. You're going to help me.
I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slime ball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows this already.
You don't know? He's the captain of this entire circus. I thought since they let you in, you must have an in with him.
And it turns out you know even less than I do. There's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. I've been doing business with the captain for years now.
Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up camp in the village. But they won't let me out either.
Anyway, good luck to you. Come and visit if you need anything. You do realize you won't score any points with the Keepers by helping me, right? Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rulebook. There's a woman from the tribes called Nest. She's my supplier. At least, I think she's still working for me. I haven't heard from her in a while, and she was supposed to bring me some really precious cargo. Something the captain wanted me to arrange. You still up for an adventure, hmm? My guess, and it's only a guess, is that at some point she must have been somewhere around the bay. That beach near the Whale's Tooth.
Rumor has it that Bromar No-Face and his thugs are fond of that place, which wouldn't be good news for Nest.
You'll get paid, of course. Just let me know what happened. And bring back the cargo, if she still has it.
Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women.
What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall? Should have stayed there.
You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but only if you're rich and extravagant, too. Other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is, if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. Yeah, now I remember what I was thinking when I left that place.
Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. My family is full of them.
I have no home in Timberwall. Well, we have an estate, but it hasn't felt like home for a long time.
I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate by the day.
Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits everywhere, trade's just not as profitable as it used to be. But, I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunities. Now, they only care about keeping their heads down and preserving their fortunes. Oh, love, plenty. And almost none of them happy. I'll never forget the first time we stumbled upon a place after a cloud of the weirdness oozed through.
It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste in the air. The place was completely abandoned. Or so we thought, until we started finding them, one by one. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out so he wouldn't have to look at his child melting into the floor.
A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess giving up just isn't in my nature.
Mather favors me. Open this and release me. I'm Nest of the Ulfra clan, and that's my real name. I'm nothing like that nameless fool Bromar. I'll admit, getting caught was my mistake, but his men had the numbers. Bromar might be an oaf, but I can't deny he's got some talent for banditry. That woman thinks only about business, doesn't she? Can't say I blame her. In times like these, everyone has to look after their own skin. They took everything I had, but I managed to hide Orlaith's package before they caught me. You can dig it up and take it to her. She'll pay you, and we'll be even. Consider it my thanks for freeing me. Ah, I see you don't know much about the Dalriata. No surprise there. Our elders keep us in the mountains, and the world seems to be forgetting about us. In the Dalriata, you have to earn your name. You choose a father, go through the trials, all of it. You need to prove yourself worthy of your clan. If you fail, you're not worthy of carrying a name. You get exiled. So, Bromar can call himself whatever he wants, but to me, he's a nobody. How should I know what rattles around in that empty skull of his? Maybe he liked what he saw, and thought he could take me for himself. Not that he got very far. Dalriata women decide for themselves who they lie with. You can't take us by force. We bite. Literally. He probably thought if he kept me here long enough, I'd soften up. He's in for a rude awakening, because I'd sooner bite through my own wrists than fall for his posturing. Finally, someone with some sense in this den of idiots. Thanks. I'll heal up and head back to my people. You didn't happen to kill that big oaf hanging around outside, did ya? Bromar no face. Suits him, with that ugly mug of his. Well, honor demands I kill the bastard, but I'll tend to my wounds first. Thanks for freeing me. You're alright, for a non-reata.
That's the best news I've heard all week. Come on then, give it to me.
Not really. We were never friends, just reluctant business partners. Her problems are hers alone, just like mine are mine. As long as they don't affect our mutual interests. Besides, it's a dangerous business. I know you can't always avoid the risks. Now that I think about it, since you managed to bring that package and Ness decided to ditch me, you might as well help with the next part of the job. My client, you know who, wants the package delivered to a specific place. Once you're there, you'll use these very special arrows I'm about to give you and shoot the package from a safe distance. Regular arrows won't do the trick. And if you waste them before the job's done, I'll charge you for the next batch. These aren't gifts, they're tools. Oh, come on. What do you think happens when you shoot flaming arrows at a mysterious package? Think for a second. Anyway, whatever opens up in front of you, check it out, and then tell me all about it. If I were you, I wouldn't touch anything. But if something catches your eye, well, maybe nobody will notice. Just make sure to open the passage. Am I some kind of seer? I have no idea. The captain's my client, not my friend. But if the rumors about him cozying up to the Dalriata tribes are true, you might stumble upon something related to them. Maybe some long-lost artifacts. I haven't got a clue. Personally, I think the captain's just trying to suck up to them. That would be very much like him. What does he care? He pays me to get the job done. How I get it done and whose hands do the work, that's my business.
Yes? Who are you? Did Albert Albertus send you? I've told you 1,000 times I'm not leaving. This place is perfect for me. At last, I have the space to explore the limits of culinary delights. You'll never understand, you bunch of cabbage heads. Your taste buds have long been dulled by fried cheese, fried fish, and oil. Oil everywhere, the goddamn oil. Oh, so you're not one of Albert's yes men. I hope you'll forgive this egregious lapse in my manners. I never thought that after the entrance was buried, anyone unfamiliar with my situation would find their way here. But first things first, my name is Rumpold Fenini. I used to be the most renowned chef in Camelot, but now I am an outcast. Doomed to forever search, misunderstood by plebeians with no taste. I've reached the limits of taste. And when I gazed into that abyss, I realized that all my past efforts were doomed to fail. You see, the logical conclusion of creating the most delicious food is something that flips the pleasure of eating on its head and brings it to the other side. Food so delicious, so extraordinary, that the pleasure turns into pain. Because, you see, it's only through pain that we can truly reach pleasure. Now, listen carefully. Sour herring and cheese. Sour herring with cheese. Perhaps, but it's not supposed to sound, it's supposed to be seen. For what is virtue if you don't first know vice? This experience is meant to embody the essence of flavor transgression. Culinary norms and rules, they're nothing but simple amusements for the masses, limitations meant only to expose the cracks within them. Why don't you try it yourself? Though I must warn you, there's no turning back from this path. Once you've tasted the effects of my culinary transgression, nothing will ever be the same. Here's the recipe for my sour herring with cheese. The ingredients are for you to obtain. It must be your own path. Just remember, it requires a special herring. If I recall correctly, a good fishing spot was... Here, I've marked it on your map. My acolyte of culinary delights. Oh dear, I could ask what year it is, but honestly, I don't find it terribly important. I finally found my place and purpose. Time holds no meaning for me. Does he now? Why? I don't offer paid lessons, and I certainly don't run the garrison's kitchen. I can't think of any reason Captain Hubert would send his men here. Sorry? Oh, a change in command then. Interesting. I do hope Captain Hubert is well. He was very kind to me when I stayed at the Keeper's Fortress. Rules are meant to be broken.
Rumpled? What are you talking about? You found someone alive in there? Wait, Rumpled? The one who disappeared centuries ago? The chef obsessed with herring and cheese? I can't! I don't believe it! All that effort, all that money, and it's Rumpled. Oh my God, I'm crying. But, well, a deal's a deal. Here's your cut. Honestly, I thought it was about the lost treasures of the Dalriada, maybe an army of undead berserkers, something that would end the world. You have no idea how scared I was of this job. And now you're telling me it was undead Rumpled. All right, I'm feeling better now. Do you need anything else from me? If only. I can't get in touch with Brandon. And it seems that he gave the order to keep me here. Precisely here. Right in this damned spot. And I'm afraid. If I stay here any longer, some of those geezers might actually drop dead. Don't get me wrong, I quite like this place. The air is crisp, the sea is calming. It's true, the company could be better, but I wouldn't mind living here one day.
Only a keeper is allowed to own property in the Horns of the South. I looked it up.
It's an actual law, not just something Brandon made up so I'd stop breathing down his neck. So unless I grow a pecker overnight, it'll never happen.
I used to love it when I was younger. It felt like an adventure. Like I was a brave heroine venturing into the dangerous world.
But it gets boring after a decade or two. Eventually, you start feeling like you haven't had time to sit down since the moment you left.
The dangers of the road stop becoming exciting. They become real. And before you know it, your entire life has slipped through your fingers. Life goes by so fast when you're always on the move. You keep thinking you have time for everything. Until you don't.
Well, off you go.